Hey, what's up everyone? It's the Pepper Ranger, and today I'm going to show you how to make a hot pepper tincture. So this is a video I've been wanting to make for a really long time. I've just put it off and put it off and put it off, but a lot of people in the PLC Discord have been clamoring for a how-to video. I tell them how easy it is, but it's another thing to show them. So here is all you will need. It's super simple for this first step. I'm probably going to do at least like a two-part series, how to make it, and then how to filter it off and bottle it. So here's what you need. Mason jar. You can use whatever size you want. The biggest thing that you need to know is that a ratio of 1:1, so pepper or powder to alcohol is what you need. And just as a disclaimer, I am 32 years old. I am able to consume alcohol. Do not consume alcohol if you are under the age of 21. This is going to be evaporated off, so most of the alcohol won't even be in there, but there will still be alcohol in the tincture depending on how much you evaporate. So, mason jar. Everclear 151 or any other pure grain alcohol. I know some people have experimented with certain whiskeys, bourbons, tequila. The higher the alcohol content of the alcohol you choose, the more extraction of the capsaicin from the powder will take place. It'll be hot regardless, but if you want it to be super hot or get all of the flavor, all of the capsaicin and hotness out of here, 151 is like the highest I can get here in Ohio without having to jump through hoops. So that's what I get. And then the last thing you need is your pepper powder. So this is just a mix of a bunch of super hots and medium hots, and it's a lot, and I'm just going to do a small batch. You can do them in the bigger mason jars, but for the purposes of this video, since probably not everyone has just bulk super hot powder to work with, I'll do this. But if you only have larger mason jars, go ahead and fill it a quarter with pepper powder and then another quarter, so all the way up to half, with alcohol. That's the golden ratio there, because if you only have a little bit of powder and fill it up with too much alcohol, you'll get more of the alcohol taste. Now, this stuff really doesn't taste like much, it just kind of burns, but it does extract the flavor very well. But that's just the ratio I go with. So I'm doing this outside because if I were to do it inside, it would probably cause me to start coughing, and this is already, I can smell it. So you want to fill it up to about halfway. Still have a little ways to go. I can't remember everything that's in here, but it is a lot. Alright, so that's about halfway. So that's step one, fill with pepper powder. Step two is just load on your alcohol. You want to leave a little bit of room so that you're able to shake it and kind of let it seep in there, because it's bubbling right now, trying to get all the way down to the bottom. But you can give it an initial shake. So put your lid on, make sure it's on there tight, and just give it a nice shake until you can't really see that powder sticking to the bottom anymore. Alright, so still some more room for more alcohol. You want to be careful with this stuff once it's been sitting in there a little while, because it is potent. Okay, so I'm almost all the way to like the rim where it stops tapering. That's going to be good enough for now. That's pretty much it for this step. You fill it with powder, you fill it with alcohol, and you shake the heck out of it. And you just want to mix it up really well. And then you put that in an area where you're going to remember it, but kind of out of the way. You just put it in my pantry, and every single day, or whenever I see it, doesn't have to be every single day. It could also be multiple times a day. There's not really a perfect amount. You just go in there and you just give it a shake, because after a certain while, the powder all kind of sinks to the bottom and the liquid's on top. So just give it a shake to kind of reincorporate it, and you do that for about a month. I have some tinctures that I've done for 3 to 6 months, and I haven't noticed a huge difference, but I've also had tinctures that I've done for 14 days and have been screaming hot for pretty much anyone. Tinctures are awesome to add heat to food, but not necessarily a ton of flavor. So if you just want to add some heat to a dish but don't want to compromise the flavor of whatever you're making, tincture is awesome for that. If you want to build tolerance for doing competitions or just your own personal, hey, I want to eat hotter things, how do I do that? Tincture is awesome for that. Do a couple drops a day on the tongue and it'll light you on fire, but the idea is to just get you familiar with what that burn feels like. It's also really good for drinks. So whether it's non-alcoholic or alcoholic, adding a couple drops to a beer, a mixed drink, margarita, seltzers are great. If you just want to have a Bloody Mary, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, your choice. It's perfect for imparting that heat without necessarily ruining the drink. And you can add as little or as much as you want. I found that I could do a whole dropper in a bowl of chili, and it's great. You do a whole dropper in a can of beer, and you're in for a rough time. Really good for coffee as well. I know some people do that. But anyway, this is going to be part 1. It's really just adding everything together, shaking it up, and letting it sit for a while. The next step, which will be in about a month, will be straining it off, which you do through coffee filters, and then bottling it. I use 15 milliliter dropper bottles, glass dropper bottles. That's what's worked best for me. And yeah, that's a great way to store them, use them, because you only need a couple drops at times to make it spicy enough. And it's great for giving away as gifts as well. So I think that at the end of this series, I'll give a couple bottles of this stuff, the dropper bottles, 15 milliliter dropper bottles. I'll give some of that away to some lucky winners. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. I'm the Pepper Ranger, and that is step 1 on how to make a hot pepper tincture. Thanks.